Go figure, right? It's not just football and NBA basketball, NFL, that's participating in the rigging corporations. It's also the World Cup. Nah? You mean it's not just football and basketball? That's not just getting the... No, it's not just American football. It's also the World Cup. Football. Or soccer. Whatever you want to call it. But in a general sense, if you're going to get in the Champions League, the Premier League, then you got to call it football. In most cases. Regardless though, this game, this Argentina-Egypt game, and yesterday's Portugal-Spain game are some of the worst games I've ever watched so far. But at least within the World Cup scheme of things, as a casual, I've enjoyed a lot of these games. Well, aside from the Spain-Portugal game, aside from the US-Belgium game, because the USA team sucks. I'll rant about them later, but I gotta get the Spain-Portugal game, I gotta get the Egypt-Argentina game out the way before I rant about USA. Because USA, I'm the most passionate about my own country. Even though my origin country is actually Ecuador, but they already got the Mexico group. But the USA got the Belgium belt. Belgium butt, belt to ass. Let's first talk about the Portugal-Spain game. That game was horrible watches. And it wasn't just because of the ref ball. Ref ball was more Argentina and Egypt game. But holy cow. This game was so slow and nobody was getting anything going, and Spain came out on top later anyways. Cristiano Ronaldo, his time is up. He's cooked. He had a great, illustrious career. You gotta call it quits. And he did. He said he was retiring from the international team. He's still gonna play in the leagues, just not internationally. He's done. Him and Neymar both retired on back-to-back days. Neymar Jr. Oof. Listen, guys. That game was brutal to watch. Spain-Portugal. Just for how slow the game was and how bad both teams were executing their own game plan. Right up till the 90 extra minute mark where Spain came up on top. And then Cristiano Ronaldo did not cease to exist this game. It'd be like that. So I'm in around the lake, so I'm gonna go halfway. But still, y'all, let's talk about the Argentina-Egypt game. So Egypt had most of the momentum. They had a 2-0 lead for the first 80 minutes of the game. And then the refs came in and they decided, let's make the world and let's make this game about us. Aside from the fact that Egypt definitely did choke the game away. They definitely did. There's no denying that. They sold so hard. But here's the thing. Rigging is also having to encapsulate also the World Cup. Messi, who is one of the best soccer players or football players of all time, of course, there's no denying that. He's one of the most, if not the most accomplished football player in the nation. Just simply put. So I guess within that game, within the last 15 to 18 minutes of the game, they said, we can't lose you. We need you for money. But the problem is that you got Mbappe and Haaland from Norway. You got Mbappe from France. You can still make your bread from those guys. But you guys are so worried about moving on that you just decide that you're going to start calling calls on stuff that you wouldn't call on anybody else, for one. For two, you call one of the goals that Egypt did. But that you disqualified, like way after it happened. Way after it happened. And I mean, that could be the case in certain instances of just World Cup, because I've seen goals got disqualified, whether it's offside stuff. I still don't understand how this offside stuff works. I'm still learning. It's not like pro knowledge in it. I genuinely don't know what's going on half the time. The problem is though, is that these refs just decide to just make it about themselves again. Like, holy cow, let's just enjoy the fundamentals of the sport and not have you guys be the core piece and the core forefront. Dude, they weren't really genuinely doing all this in a lot of these other games. But here, in this instance, because we can't have our supers, we can't rely on newcomers to just take over the sport, but we need the aging stars like Messi. We still need the money. It's like the NBA milking LeBron, Curry, KD to the maximum, because they genuinely do not know how to market other stars. It's not that the World Cup doesn't know how to market. It's just a general consensus that we need to continue just moving with the promotion of the World Cup, but we need Messi. Cristiano Ronaldo already announced he's going to retire, so whatever happens to Portugal happens. But because Messi didn't announce retirement and he's still going, we can't let Messi just have a brutal exit to the Egypt like Mo Salah was cooking. One of the other guys, Zuni, one of the guys from Egypt that scored the goal from the Salah assist. I'm gonna have to learn the sport pretty badly. I'm gonna need to get my knowledge up. Regardless, man, that was just epic. Dude, there's so many people rooting for Egypt. It's so funny. I was going through my timeline after the game. So many people are genuinely pissed off that Argentina won. They are saying the shit's rigged. I mean, I can see it being rigged, but it's like, at the same time, Egypt did choke big time. They couldn't hold onto the gas pedal. At the same time, though, it just goes to show sometimes some of these corporations, they really, really need some of their biggest assets so that they can just move forward. Because if they don't have their biggest assets, then they can't really promote it the way they want. And they're not going to get the revenue that they want to. They need more. They're too power hungry. They're never satisfied. Like I've been telling you guys, big corporations are genuinely never satisfied. Is that why we have a trillionaire now? Is that why we continue to have a bunch of inflation nonsense? Yet these rich people continue to get richer? Dude, these rich people are never, ever, ever, ever satisfied. They can't even settle with $1 million. They can't even settle being a millionaire. They can't even settle with that. They're not okay with that. And it's so pathetic. I don't like that. You can be okay without needing Messi to overcome. I know Argentina is a solid team, but they almost lost to Egypt. They could have damn well lost that game entirely. But the way the rest overflowed, just past, whether it's Argentina or Egypt, both of their teams' momentums, they ruined the game. They ruined the whole flow because they need Messi so bad to promote the game, to promote the tournament, to promote one of the biggest stages of events ever in the World Cup. Like, you don't need Messi. You got Haaland and you got freaking Mbappe from France. You guys really need that much more money and much more revenue? Like, you're already making enough, but you're that greedy for a little bit more chump change? I just find that interesting. We can rant about USA now, right? We can rant about USA now. I just find also my time being quite hilarious on how they're so spiteful of Argentina. I never knew there were this many Argentina haters. I'm so profound by that I'm pretty impressed by that. But either way, I'm still learning. I'm still getting along with the sport. I'm not just gonna say my perspectives are profound. I just need to learn more. As long as I continue to learn, as long as I continue to learn about the Premier Leagues, Championship Leagues, whatever they got going on, as long as I get FIFA eventually and Madden, well, Madden's a completely different sport, but either way, I'm gonna be set. I'm gonna be chilling. But let's talk about this USA game. USA, this soccer team, this goalie was probably the worst goalie I've ever watched in my entire life. This goalie does not know how to be good at being a goalie. Not being a good goalkeeper. Bro, I can grab half of these people off this lake, this little runway, and get them to do better than whatever that guy was doing yesterday. So serious. We can grab half of these people. We can deadass grab half of these people that are currently running right now. And we can have them doing a better job at goalkeeping than whatever that guy was doing. I don't really need to know his name by now. I'll research it later. Or I'll remember it. But regardless, oh man, the USA just literally shat the bed against Belgium. Like, so bad. Like, they were outmatched the moment they scored the first goal. And the first goal they scored around the 14 minute mark, the moment they scored, it's like they stopped playing. They gave up. They had no energy, no effort. They had no passion. They didn't give a shit. They just played soccer like in this match like it's some freaking exhibition game. They didn't get in their memo that, oh, it's a World Cup tournament. They didn't read the room. So the entire time they just treat it like it's some preseason game. And now look at them. They're now sitting at home in Cancun. They're so pathetic. They're such a pathetic team, bro. Bro, and the crazy part is, too, after the game, so many people, even some of the people that are from America, some of the good mutuals and some of the good friends I have, they were so happy and so glad that USA got eliminated. Bro, I was too. I was too. They played so pathetic. They played so lackluster. It's like they didn't even care. Bro, again, I'm going to say this as many times as I want. Get half of these people that are around this park, walking around or jogging. Get some of these people that are driving these cars right now. Get them to play goalie and get them to play the other positions in the field. And they'll put better effort than whatever Pulisic was leading captain of. Because even Pulisic was non-existent this game. I didn't even know he was on the field half the time. I'm like, where is he? Oh wait, he's right there. I didn't know he was on the field. Where were you the whole time? Oh, I'm just twiddling my fingers and I'm just chilling. Bro, you are in a World Cup exhibition game. What do you mean you're twiddling your fingers and chilling? Bro, get on the field and play football. You're playing in a millions of people in the crowd in Seattle, and millions of people are watching you behind the screen. Yo, lock in. Maybe not millions in the Seattle stadium, but definitely millions watching behind the screen. Ridiculous. Bro, we can literally get some of these bus drivers that are passing by right now, get them to play way better goalkeeping defense than whatever that guy was doing yesterday. Giving up 4 goals to that freaking Belgian team. Dude, that team was so good too. That team is generally good. I don't know what happened to them this game. It's like they stopped giving a shit. They didn't care anymore. They thought this was the end. And then even after the match ended and they lost, they just oh man, they don't have enough pride and juice. Is this what's happening with the general international USA teams? Is that they stopped caring as much because they have a lot looking forward to just living a better, luxurious life compared to all the other countries who are fighting to represent their country? I mean, USA does not have enough people to genuinely be like, I am an American, and in this particular moment, because I'm representing my country at this time, I am going to full on be on demon timing. I am going to be so locked in. I need to get my country to a victory. They don't have that. They don't have that type of pride anymore. And it's also so apparent in the World Baseball Classic too. The USA lost to Venezuela in the final round, right? USA did not even put out that much effort either. And then when the game ended, they didn't really care like that. They just treated it like it's some type of exhibition game. They don't have as much pride as the other countries because they have the luxurious lifestyle. They already have it. So they already have a lot. So they don't care as much compared to other countries like Venezuela in the World Baseball Classic. Dude, that shit meant more to them than possibly like a World Series. Like, man, it's crazy. And it's crazy how some of these guys just don't care like that. But you're playing the sport that you've grown up, you have worked so hard over the course of your years of living. You have surpassed so many expectations. You have even went as to say, oh hey, I have surpassed the 1%. I am part of the 1% that has worked so hard and so tirelessly all of my life just to not put as much effort. So at that point, if you're not going to put as much pride as you did with your work over the course of these years, you're not going to put in the biggest stage in your career, you might as well get one of us driving, walking a dog, running, jogging, getting errands. You might as well get one of us that could possibly be dreaming of this type of life, of just being a part of something, being a part of a community, being a part of something bigger than me. You might as well just get one of us then. Just get one of us. Okay, we'll put in much more heart, we'll put in much more passion and soul and effort compared to whatever they did. And yes, that includes the captain. Dude, do we even need to claim a captain in this USA team when none of them literally showed up and cared? You know what the crazy part is? I'm pretty sure the only goal that the USA scored, that we scored, was off a free kick or like a penalty. Either one of those things. That's the crazy part. And that game was tied. But they didn't even notice, they didn't even have the depth or the peripheral awareness that we're in a tie situation. They made it seem like, I think we have like a 2-run lead or something. We're up 4 runs. We're up four goals or whatever. They treated that like it's some type of exhibition game, some type of practice game. They didn't care. They didn't care like that, man. So I had to go on the USA rant just for the exact reason. Yo, have some pride. You want to be prideful about red pill spaces. You want to be prideful about gender wars, but you don't want to be prideful about playing in front of your country, in front of thousands of people, and with millions of people watching you behind a screen. You don't want to be prideful to play for something bigger than yourself. Oh, but you want to be a part of a stream, and you want to be red pilled though. That's just an example. But regardless, that still further expands my point further and further. These people only care about meaningless shit. Their priorities are all fucked. Can't wait to watch the rest of this tournament. It's gonna be so fun. And I can't wait to learn more about football, soccer, American football. American football, the preseason, I'm pretty sure, is next month. Right? That's where it starts. I don't really got much to look forward to because the New York Giants are not a good team. But hey, there's delusion, right? There's delusion as one part. The New York Jets are abysmal, but delusion, they got some good players. Same with the Giants. But delusion overtakes all. I wonder what's next. Especially for some of the guys that were a part of these USA international teams, so whether it's the World Baseball Classic, the USA Basketball, USA Olympics thing. They just don't care, bro. They don't have they don't have the urgency to actually win. They don't. They feel like they win enough. They feel like they're above winning. You know, at times like this. I know people, I don't blame people for going for money when it comes to free agency, but I also just worry that some of these people genuinely, usually, don't really want to take what it ultimately stands. Let me rephrase that. Some people can take more money over the possibility of having to take a pay cut just so you can win. The problem is, though, is that in certain instances, if you're not going to show or display any type of impact or care to the game after you get the money or what you're looking for within the money spectrum, then you might as well just stop wasting our times and just show us for who you are. You just want the money. You don't want to impact winning. You don't want to be somebody that impacts a generation, future generations to be better. Just have the mentality, just always go for what you strive for. Just keep going. But instead, you're teaching each and every one of us, that includes myself in certain cases, to just settle. Once you get, let's say, $60 million for 5 years from the Los Angeles Lakers as a role player, like you were having a solid season. You got $60 million for 5 years. Oh, I settled. I'm good now. You're not gonna be as impactful anymore. Like, bro, Donovan Mitchell from the Cleveland Cavaliers, who of course is the best player in his team, but he has not impacted enough winning for him to be so coddled and enamored. Oh yeah, so I signed a 4-year, $273 million extension with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Bro, that's almost $70 million, and he's definitely gonna get $70 million from the Cleveland Cavaliers in the middle of that contract span. The problem is, though, I would give that money to prime LeBron James and Victor Wembanyama. Only those two guys at this particular moment. Other than that, who's giving $273 4 years shamelessly or willingly with no sense of pride or sense of pride? Donovan Mitchell is definitely worth $70 million USA dollars. He just got swept by the New York Knicks in the Eastern Conference Final, and that was his first ever Eastern Conference Finals, or just Conference Finals period, appearance. But the Cavs are already hard-capped. They haven't built a good enough team. So all their money lot of their cap is tied to Donovan Mitchell, 6'1" guard, shooting guard, scoring first. And yeah, scoring, that's his job. His job is to score. But he's not impacting other facets of the game. He improved a little bit of his playmaking, but even then, it still gets exposed in the playoffs, bro. This Cavs team is cooked, bro. They're cooked. Their future's cooked. Unless they trade, and they make marginal trades, trading Evan Mobley's big contract, or they trade Jared Allen while his contract continues to finish off. And they got 88-year-old James Harden, who's not getting younger at all. He's like in his late 30s. And he's a playoff choker. I just find it very crazy that 4 guys are taking up majority of the cap sheet. Wild. Absolutely wild stuff, bro. I wonder what's next for the Cavs. I'm worried that the Cavs are going to continue to get worse and worse and worse. They're going to become a joke of a franchise eventually if they don't make marginal moves at some point. So, there's that. I got some mutuals and friends to help me figure out how this soccer thing works. I'm very excited for that. Help them to get my football knowledge up, get my hockey up. It's going to be really fun. I cannot wait. We are so back, chat. And also, the USA teams internationally, from football to, well, not necessarily football, but baseball to football to basketball, have some pride.